Hello everybody, here's the French Bull. Hope you're doing good today. I'm coming with a weekly update, and what we can say is that we had a significant move down again last week, well, especially this weekend. Shouldn't be coming as a surprise, hopefully. I'm still holding most of the recent shorts that have been taken around the weekly level, around 31,900 personally. Now we'll see what we can expect next. We didn't quite reach full target for the short yet, but we'll take a look at the Elliott wave count. And yeah, hopefully you're all into a nice short printing profit in this market condition that can be stressful for some, but not for the ones that studing short without emotions and just trading sensibly. So yeah, we had a rejection after the first wide close previous week, after several weeks of significant drawdown. So we did retest it as a supply into that week, and then broke down. And this morning, at night, we did broke a low of 25k. Yeah, 3,400. So now, simply, well, I pull a new order block here that should be an interesting resistance in case we move up again. Yeah, just by taking this low, this high, so in fact this white candle here, and we have a fresh weekly level now at the top of this out block. We still have this high that might be taken at some point, especially knowing that we might be finishing a wave 3 of some degree, so might be going for a wave 4 that could take the height of the previous wave 4. In that case, we still have our resistance, especially this other block, monthly level, high volume node of this range. And right now we are inside, well, this weekly order block. So I considering it an order block because we have a wick above and below it. Even if it is still in the trend, we don't have any bearish close before or after. Yeah, I think it's still a significant one. That's a consolidation we had after the break of the previous all-time high, 20k. And yeah, it did act as support on the week of the 9th of May. And so yeah, it could continue to provide support again, to keep consolidating here, as we might be building a range well below the previous range, below 30k, where we got our weekly level. So I pull the lower one, this one pretty close as well. Anyway, what we are looking at for the bullish case is a consolidation more or less into this 30, 32, 23k. I don't think there is much more to say on the weekly chart right now. We do have what do we have? So just, yeah, slowing down the music a bit. Let's check. Yeah, moving average. Yeah, we have the 200 weekly moving average coming still significantly lower, around 22,300 here on Bitstamp. So that will be an interesting area for a reversal, yes. Knowing that a 200 weekly moving average doesn't have necessarily to be precisely support for intra-week price action, of course. And in fact, sometimes we get close below, like we can observe here during the COVID crash when we closed just below that moving average before closing back above. So yeah, you see we made a significant move below it, 30%. That was quite excessive. But anyway, more precisely here for the 3K low, we did move slightly below, but didn't make any close below that moving average and retested it quite nicely. If we go back again more in time, well, when that moving average started, that's why it played as support. And again, we had a move below it, but a weekly close above. So there is really this COVID crash that is a bit of the anomaly in the way that we had a weekly close below that moving average before recovering. And really not just a small week below it, but yeah, how much, 30% below it, that's what I said, yeah. So again, from a long-term perspective, someone that will be buying spot, anything around or below this 200 weekly moving average is a sensible place to accumulate Bitcoin, of course. But it's not necessarily playable with leverage and a tight stop, of course. Now we'll have a look in a minute into the 802 count to see if we can get more precision. Now, daily chat, do we have anything? Yeah, I didn't check the oscillators on the weekly, but there is nothing particular. I mean, I can just check the weekly. We are reaching oversold. So yes, there is something particular. We are indeed reaching oversold on a weekly RSI. So it is a quite significant level again. I mean, the last time we did reach oversold on a weekly RSI was the low of 2018 December. And the previous time was the low of January 2015. And the time before, well, that when we started. So yes, this is significant level where Bitcoin need to find its support and really build its reversal now, I believe. Should we get a bull divergence here? If I just look at the previous one, we didn't really have any on a weekly reversal divergence. We usually have the tops reversal div on the weekly, but not necessarily at the lows. So from this standpoint, again, it seems like a sensible place to buy spot Bitcoin again. If that were to fail, that would be, well, really dangerous for Bitcoin. It is at critical support, definitely. So we had this 50% of the daily week here that had pulled previously. As I said, usually when we get a big week like this with volume, especially when there is volume, price tend to revisit this area to test the supply demand of it. Now you can see that we went through quite heavily. If you were on your desk yesterday, you see that I envisaged a possibility that we had a low here at this level. Initially, we had a good reaction out of it, but ultimately it failed. Again, it shows relevance of this kind of level. Now let me check on a 4 hour. Yeah, we didn't. Now I can delete it. It is not necessary. And again, just as a reminder, I put one above. So that was 50% of this weak body, not a weak wick. We almost retreated, not quite, but nearly. But again, it shows how it tends to act as a magnet, and price tend to revisit this area. But it is not necessarily a very precise one. We had another one here above our cluster of resistance. Now let me check. Yeah, linear log. We'll keep this on log. Looking at the trend line here from this to swing high, if we are indeed building a wave 4 and revisit this, it could be finding resistance as a trend line. We could also have a fake out, you know why? Because that will produce most likely liquidity if this trend line is being hyped enough. But anyway, keep going. We are not reverse yet. So daily chart, I said. Right now we just took the liquidity below the 25k low. It doesn't have significant move below it yet. We'll see how the day close. Possible that we manage to close above it. It will be a bit of a sign of strength if we do a decent daily close. Doesn't mean we cannot go again for another low, but it will be preferable, I guess, than just close fully at the low. It's still early in the day to see. Oscillator, we potentially have bullish divergence on the daily. And indeed, most likely, if we do, well, anywhere we close, we will have a bullish divergence taking from the close, the line chart. Even if we were to close this above the open, then we will have still nice bull divergence reversal div on a daily. We do have one on the 3-day as well, I believe. Yes, and we bit lose the kind of trend that we were trying to build here. Still bullish divergence. And sorry, I forgot something on the weekly. Yeah, so we are reaching oversold, and we have still MFI bullish div again. I'm gonna repeat. MFI tend to make divergence a bit early before the reversal, but it can be a sign that there is one getting closer. Obviously, you see that the first, well, it wasn't bullish divergence since we break this low, potentially. And we had one on the positive close. Anyway, just to say, another sign that we might see a reversal soon enough. Now let's take a look at the count we have. On so far we have mainly 2 counts coming for this move. I'm coming from this. Whatever the higher time frame count is, we are looking most likely to finish 5 waves in this move. The question remained, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just finishing the final 5th, or are we still finishing the wave 3 before potentially a nice bounce and continuing for again one last check out on the market which I kind of like this count because this will allow us to, again, continue to build a nice range. But we will take a look at the range from a Wyckoff perspective in a minute as well. Potentially taking the high that we made here at 32k. Potentially doesn't have to, but that will be a nice trap. You know, you change the market structure again on a higher time frame and then you reverse again. So that will be a sign of strength as well. Market structure change don't always happen at once. Sometimes you have like this, like we have here. In fact, we have a market structure change compared to this downtrend. We still make a lower low. So the fact that we managed to go up for a bit is a bit of a sign of strength. So if we can do this on a higher time frame, it will be nice. Overall, a target we have, so I pulled different fib for the wave 5 target, so the wave 5 of this count ID, and we have confluences here about 23k, knowing that we have an algorithm target at 22.5. So yeah, and also knowing that the minimal target we expect for the wave 3 of this degree has been reached. Well, not the minimum, but a nice target of the 261.8. You know, it's a nice target for wave 3, 161.8 and 261.8. And so here we reached it already. I'm not really feeling the low is in yet, especially considering the lower time frame count than from this move down starting this proposed wave 4. We are still missing a bit, but we have to keep in mind we did reach a nice target for a nice candidate for wave 3 here already. So now, so yeah, I have confidence, and I just set back on a few levels that I made, you know, when we started to break down from the breakout, in fact, from 20k. And we had a few consolidations. There's not a lot of volume in this price action, but yeah, we take what we have, and we have one high volume node in this consolidation, and the one lower just below 20k. And this one, you see, it's adding a bit of confluence in this box. We have the fib extension target. So again, anything for me, we'll say to stay white, 22 to 23.5. That's where I will really be looking to get more aggressive on the long and look for signs of long, for sure. Not necessarily knife catching too much, at least not with high leverage, until we add more sign of reversal, of course. So that's one of the count. The other one, you might remember, where is that? It's me. Yeah, okay, let's deactivate this. The alternative one, as I said just a minute ago, saying that we are already going for the final fifth, which is not impossible. You know, we have overall a bit lower target into the more about the 21,000 for the final target of the time frame count. But there is nothing that say we have, it's not mandatory that we go that low. We might be in the last leg down, and we might be building the low already. The low. So that's why also we'll be looking, or I will be looking to get into a longs as soon as I can finish this count, in case we go for a wave 4, because I believe it will be a nice opportunity, nice trade already, but also in case this is the low. So this is the context. Now let's shift on Wyckoff. Yes, overall what we do have. So we have our sailing climax, preliminary support. So between the two we built a range with these two levels. So preliminary support because we have significant volume starting to come in here, below our weekly level from the previous range, or you know, below what's supposed to be support. We have consolidation. That's already a good sign in my opinion. Again, automatic reaction, change of character, squeeze of late shorts, take profit, etc. Secondary test, which is spring of this little range here. Spike of volume again, an uptrust, bull trap above the automatic reaction, but still in the range of the preliminary support. And now we have an acceleration down coming potentially for a secondary test in phase B, where we have again an increase in volume here. So how do you link this to the Elliott wave count? Easily, after a secondary test in phase B, usually you have a recovery, retesting again the high of the range. And that's your phase, your phase B. And then you you continue your range. So then, you know, we may have a low on the swing on the secondary test in phase B, or we might have still a fifth coming for one last low. In this scenario, I have. And so, yeah, sorry, after the recovery of this, might have an uptrust, taking the previous one, or just making a lower high again. And then we're going for phase C at some point. It could die slowly. In fact, that would be, I would guess that will most likely what would happen. As we will be inside summer, boring price action that slowly die until we finished our phase C during summer, whenever it is. I would believe sometime in August or early September. And that phase C can be several things. If the market is really strong, it could be what we call an LPS, last point of support. So a last point of support will be a higher low. In case we are a fifth, then we'll make a 1, 2. Or it could be a failed spring if we test the very low of the range without breaking it. Or we could do a spring if we do break the low, we will likely make here and recover quickly after. Knowing that the spring, in this occurrence, we will expect a significant move down with a very strong recovery. At least that's what I will expect. Sometime a spring could be a little range and go back up like a bat, you know. But anyway, I'm already far away. Too far away. Well, have to let this range proving itself yet. So we want to see a reversal here. We should be able to read a little range here as well on the lower time frame, the 1 hour, 15-minute chart. A reversal range locally, confirming secondary test in phase B. For me, there is not necessarily a rush to be too aggressive on the long side again. Yeah, secondary test in phase B should be a standard range compared to a spring that what can be a V reversal, what we call a V reversal. Okay, so that is done. Lower time frame count here, just to set the context. I have several ideas. I think I have it on there was a chart as well. This one, right? No, on the other chart. Because it's a bit of the issue we have, or I have here. If you could load, thank you. Well, you know, it's this, especially this price action is complicated to count. Okay. This may have several possibilities. This is really the main issue I have right now. You know, that's why at some point I started to count from that swing high, because I know we have something. And so I make deduction that we have potentially a 1-2, 1-2. Let me zoom in a bit more here. So so the ID, again, I'm sure I'm starting from one of the significant swing high when I know there is something starting. After we'll see if we have an ABC here, or if we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. It's possible that we'll add one more leg down, because this will be a 1, 2, and we'll have to add a higher degree one, lower degree one. Okay. But then we have our first move down, move up, 1, 2, done. Don't have to count inside, there is no reason to. But we have a 1, 2, and then another significant move down with a significant retrace that overlap previous one. So for me, most likely this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and I don't bother to try to count the inside because there is nothing to count. I mean, there is quick price action with no retrace, so we cannot treat it. Then as here we have a clear ABC, comes 2, then I have a 1, 2. Again here you see how we may have an ABC. That's why in fact I propose the count of a corrective move, A, B, C, doing something like this. But the other possibility is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, again 1, 2, etc. So I use my fib to see what makes the most sense, you know, saying that we whatever. We reach the 161.8 here, so 1, 2, 3, good candidate for 5. Target for the 5 is nice as well. We pulled from the previous one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 161.8 for a 3, that's good. 4, retrace to 3, 2, that's good. 5, etc, etc. And so that's, if that count is right, you see, it means that we could have still several more move downs. Here I don't mind the target, I just set the wave to have it. Target for the wave 5 here, just have to break wave 3, so we could make just several swing floor pattern ending with ending diagonal, overlapping, you know, make a complicated reversal with while we correct the early longs. But after all that, yeah, that count, is it the right one or not? I don't know. So yeah, could have this, start to build a range, as I explained just before on the higher time frame, making overlapping, maybe change of market structure and still continue down. And yeah, price action can become very overlapping at the end here. So that's the the main idea. Here I have a slightly different count. Not really. Yeah, there's not a sub count here. Anyway, they're the same. The really different count I could try to guess is just to say we have a 1 and a 2 here with the flat I talk about, and then we start the count from this high. So 1, 2, but it doesn't look anything. 1, 2, it could be in a 3, 4, 5. You know, it can be anything. That's why now I'm not sure having the right count on this time frame is the most important. What we most likely have, let me hide these ones. Let's let this, we don't need it anymore. What would be nice is that we know we have very most likely a wave 1 here and wave 2 that is either here, either here. But you see how long took the wave 1 and the wave 2. So what we would like to see is at some point a correction that lasts a similar time, at least half of the time. Take a small one. And you see, if we were to put the low of the wave 3 here, that could take us to June 14 tomorrow. It didn't last more than a day. Yeah, right, that was quite price action. But anyway, have a significant retrace, that retrace as well to enough of a level for wave 4 retrace. So, you know, if we could have a bit of a green day, 236 or a bit higher here, previous consolidation when some strong bulls starting to step in, and then our last low, we will then be able to deduct that we likely have our wave 5 then. And let me check quickly the fib extension we have here as well. That's what should be the focus. What did I write again? Fib tool, thank you. Here we go. Let's pull the wave 3 to have something more clear. And let's use the log one this time. That's usually, yeah, okay, here we go. So potentially we have a nice target here coming at 24k for a potential wave 1, 2, 3, then a nice bounce, then a last low, and then we have a final count here that could allow us to go further into the range. Okay. The other way would be to build to look at this would be to focus on the range that we'll be building here. So we'll take a Wyckoff view in that sense. Let's take another chart, select this, and go on what, 15 minutes maybe. So we have significant volume here. Now there's two main possibilities I saw. Either we have our preliminary. Come on, what happened? Preliminary support here. When we see we had already significant volume stepping in, or maybe that's only what we are building here. Will make the difference. Well, if we start to have our wave 4, that retrace significantly and retest this area, then likely that was a preliminary support. We have our selling climax and automatic reaction, and then we go for a secondary test, or we have a secondary test and we go for a secondary test in phase B. Let me rephrase this. It's not unusual to have an automatic reaction and secondary test that doesn't retest yet the preliminary support. And we test the preliminary support into an uptrust before then going for a secondary test in phase B, and etc. And we will be looking at what trends develop. For now, it's still too early. We want to see a sign of strength. Here we go. We have a 35-minute update. I think I covered most of it. Now let's take a look quickly at a bullish sign we have. Magic spread is starting to trigger slight buy signal. I pull the right chart Bitfinex here. And yeah, we are reaching 100, so that's usually when we can expect reversal. Doesn't mean you have to reverse right away, but it is a really good sign. We have significant volume. I believe the supply that we saw have been sold. If you remember, oh, come on. There was like about 10k of BTC supply, and you see since yesterday we're starting to see increase in the cold wallet again. And if you add all of this spike of volume, you can see that that make us the 10k of supply, and now we are seeing volume again absorbing the selling, so it is a pretty good sign. The long are still going up, the short as well. The heat map could be a bit more stacked here, but you see it's starting to get something here. That's some beats, at least a few hundreds. So let it, well, just let it come. We have some beats on Coinbase. There's a lot below us. There is some beats on FTX as well, starting to absorb where we are. And Binance USD, bit Binance Future. Binance Future, we're starting to see some walls as well, so pretty good sign. So yeah, that will be it for today. Don't forget to like video or the Discord post to show your appreciation and support, and I see you tomorrow for a live stream. Thanks everybody, bye.